Welcome to Tony's Bonsai. I've got a juniper here. I can't exactly recall what type. I think it's a common juniper. Is it juniper communis or something like that? I applied some wire to it. I don't really remember when, probably in the spring or the summer. And I really contorted and twisted it up, and today it's time to take the wire off before it scars and creates too many deep marks. As I've zoomed into film, I do remember what tree this is. It was a clearance half price tree from B&Q, so it was marked at £4, so I got it for £2. Bargain. It's grown really well this summer. You can see all these healthy new extensions and all this new vibrant growth that it's put on. So yeah, they are quite tough plants, these common junipers. Now we're getting to the business end of the tree, which is obviously these trunks that have been manipulated and wired around. I've noticed some of these wires are beginning to bite in already, probably because it's put on so much healthy growth. These are thickened and, you know, hopefully they've held a new shape. My choices when I'm removing this wire is either to try to uncoil it or to cut it off, and this is going to be one of the scenarios where I do need to cut the wire. This is not a technical exercise. It's really just a question of removing these pieces of wire and sort of working my way around the tree, just cutting them off as I see them, and hopefully I avoid doing any damage to any of the bark, which is quite gentle on a juniper. You know, it's not the toughest bark. The good news is you can damage it and it doesn't seem to really affect the tree too badly, you know. And quite often we deliberately damage bark on junipers to create shari, which are the sections with the bark removed. So that came off nicely, and it's just a question of working my way around, looking for bits of wire as and when I can see them. See, there's quite a lot in here, like that. And there's no particular amazing strategy, I don't think, other than just sort of get in there and cut it and remove the pieces. While I'm removing this wire now, I just thought I'd tell you a little bit about what I've been up to this week. I've been away with some friends doing some landscape photography on the Northumbrian coast. I absolutely love it over there, and I'm hoping in the future to start running workshops again, photography workshops, where I teach people how to take award-winning landscape photographs. And that's one of my favourite areas of the country, Northumberland. You know, they have some big waves, they've got beautiful rocks. It's just a great place to spend some time with some friends. Had a few nice meals. But now I'm back. Couldn't leave my trees for too long. And some people might need to wear gloves doing this kind of work, because they are very prickly on your skin. Can be quite painful, really, but sometimes I do wear gloves when I'm applying the wire, and you're really having to put a bit of torque into things. You know, just doing it with bare hands can seem a bit masochistic. Now sometimes when the coils are very tight in like this, I'll show you what I do. These specialist wire cutters are great, but for small wire like this, I prefer the pointed ends, like that. I just find it gives me more control. And just allows me to be a bit more accurate and get into the sort of fiddly spots. like that. Just seemed to me a better tool in many ways. You know, I do think you need both, but when I'm doing this really tight in stuff, like here, I've got one that's wedged in, and with these, I can't get near. Whereas with these ones, I can get right in, and the wire comes out easy. So it's just something just one of my personal preferences, I suppose. We all find our own way of doing things in bonsai, and it's just whatever you like. I find sometimes in some of these kind of bonsai groups, some people are they're very eager to tell everybody what they're doing wrong, which I'm not bothered. I mean, I love constructive feedback. People tell me, you know, have you tried this? Have you thought of doing this? You know, and I think that's absolutely great. And I've learnt so much off my subscribers helping me and saying, why don't you try this and stuff. But sometimes on Facebook, it can often be very much just people almost seeming nasty in some ways, like they want to put others down. Like I say, it doesn't really bother me, if I'm honest. I'm not really that type to get offended. So I just work my way around, and these start falling off then. I've applied a lot of wire to this, and I'm hoping it maintains its shape nicely, because if it does, this could become quite a nice contorted little tree. I turned the camera off there because I needed to concentrate to get these wires off. It really got quite complicated, and it was very compact inside there to really sort of get all the wires out from inside here. But you can see from this view what I've done, and sort of the way that I've manipulated and twisted these branches around and contorted them to hopefully produce a nice tree in the future. I've got lots of junipers like this, cheap small plants that I wired up last winter really. I love doing this in the winter on a dark evening, put the fire on, it'll be my new log burner going on, and just sort of working them, taking my time, wiring and pruning these plants. And down the line, this is how I plan on getting some nice juniper material. So I've got quite a lot already, but in the winter I'm going to be doing this work on more small juniper trees and just showing you how I go about the wiring process and the basic pruning. I'm no expert, but I've watched a few videos and I seem to be having some good success with them, so I'll share that. I'll share what information I've got with you, and if you'd like to see those, you know what to do. But apart from that, as always, thanks for joining me and have a great day. I'll see you soon.